7 continents, 7 apex predators, and the numbers behind them will permanently change how you think about life on Earth. By the time this video ends, you'll know which animal kills the most prey per hunt, which apex predator has the smallest population of any large carnivore on the planet, and which continent hosts an apex predator that has remained virtually unchanged for 200 million years. Let's start with a number. 93. That is the percentage of hunts where the Nile crocodile succeeds. No other large apex predator on Earth comes close. Section 1. Africa, the crocodile's continent. Africa is home to multiple apex predators, lions, leopards, cheetahs, African wild dogs, but the continent's single most statistically dominant hunter is Crocodilus niloticus, the Nile crocodile. According to a 2018 study in PLOS One analyzing ambush predator strike mechanics, Nile crocodiles achieve a kill success rate between 90 and 95%. Lions, by contrast, succeed on roughly 25 to 30% of hunts. Cheetahs, often celebrated for speed, succeed on 40 to 50%. The crocodile's weapon is not speed. It is patience and physics. Its bite force reaches 5,000 pounds per square inch, the strongest bite of any living animal. For context, the hyena, famous for crushing bone, bites at roughly 1 through 100 psi. A lion at 650. The Nile crocodile generates more than 7 times the force of a lion with a single snap. There are approximately 250,000 Nile crocodiles alive today, distributed across 26 sub-Saharan countries. They have occupied this ecological niche since before the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs. The crocodile is not just Africa's apex predator. It is one of the oldest continuously operating predator designs in vertebrate history. Section 2. North America, the wolf and the bear. North America has 2 legitimate apex predators competing at the top of the food web, the gray wolf and the grizzly bear. But the numbers here tell a surprising story. Gray wolves, reintroduced to Yellowstone in 1995, just 41 animals, restructured the entire ecosystem within a decade. A landmark 1998 paper in Bioscience documented what researchers called a trophic cascade. Elk populations shifted their grazing behavior, allowing willows and aspens to regenerate along riverbanks, stabilizing stream channels, and ultimately changing the physical course of rivers. 41 wolves altered hydrology. The grizzly, meanwhile, can weigh up to 790 pounds and run at 35 miles per hour, faster than any Olympic sprinter. But here's the twist. Grizzlies derive up to 90% of their caloric intake from plants and insects. They are classified as omnivores despite holding apex status. In salmon-rich years, a single grizzly can consume 20,000 calories per day during hyperphagia, their pre-hibernation eating phase, gaining up to 400 pounds in 4 months. Source: U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, Grizzly Bear Recovery Program, 2023. Section 3. South America. The jaguar's underwater kill. Most people picture the jaguar leaping through rainforest canopy. The counterintuitive reality: the jaguar is one of the few big cats in the world that actively hunts in water, and it is the only big cat that kills by biting through the skull rather than the throat. This distinction matters. Throat bite kills restrict big cats to prey of similar or smaller size. Skull-piercing kills mean the jaguar can take prey far heavier than itself. Caimans, tapirs, anacondas. A 2016 study in the journal Oryx documented jaguars diving into the Pantanal's river systems to pull out giant river otters and caimans that weighed up to 150% of the jaguar's own body weight. The jaguar's population has declined 50% in the past century, with roughly 64,000 to 173,000 individuals remaining across Central and South America, according to the IUCN Red List. This range is fragmented, with populations in Mexico now functionally isolated from those in the Amazon basin. The number that should concern you: in 2000, the jaguar's range covered 8.75 million square kilometers. Today it occupies less than half that. Section 4. What nobody tells you about Europe. Europe's apex predator is the Eurasian lynx. Not the wolf, not the brown bear, though both are present. In ecosystems where all three coexist, the lynx occupies the predator niche most efficiently relative to body size, taking roe deer and chamois in proportion to its 66-pound body in a way no other European carnivore matches per kilogram of predator weight. But here is what almost no wildlife documentary covers. Europe lost its true megapredators 12,000 years ago. The cave lion, the spotted hyena, the cave bear, all gone. The Eurasian lynx is, ecologically speaking, a placeholder. Europe is the only inhabited continent where the apex predator cannot reliably take prey larger than 100 pounds. The consequences ripple through every European forest. Ungulate populations have exploded wherever lynx have been extirpated, driving overgrazing of forest understory on a continental scale. As of 2023, the total European lynx population is estimated at just 9,000 to 10,000 individuals, a fraction of historic levels. Source: IUCN SSC Cat Specialist Group, 2023. Section 5. Asia, Australia, and the Poles. Asia holds 3,900 wild tigers, a 40% increase from 2006 lows, according to WWF's 2022 Tiger Population Survey. Tigers are obligate carnivores and will travel up to 40 kilometers in a single night during hunting patrols. Their kill success rate is lower than you'd expect, 10 to 20%, because their prey, deer, wild boar, gaur, are alert, fast, and often in groups. Australia's apex predator is the saltwater crocodile, not the dingo. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest living reptiles on Earth, reaching 6.3 meters and 1,000 kilograms. They can sprint at 17 kilometers per hour on land. Their ambush success rate rivals the Nile crocodiles, above 90%, because their attack is ballistic, a death roll that makes escape mechanically impossible once contact is made. And in the Arctic, the polar bear, up to 800 kilograms, a range of up to 354,000 square kilometers for a single individual. Kill success on ringed seals, approximately 10% in open water, rising to 70% at breathing holes. The difference between a mobile chase and a patient ambush. 26,000 polar bears remain globally, per the IUCN Polar Bear Specialist Group 2022 assessment. At current sea ice loss rates, viable summer hunting habitat will be gone for most subpopulations before 2100. Closing 7 continents, the Nile crocodile, 93% kill success. The jaguar, skull-piercing, diving into rivers, hunting at 150% its own weight. The polar bear, 354,000 square kilometers of range, shrinking every decade. These are not curiosities. They are the load-bearing columns of every terrestrial and marine food web on Earth. Remove one and the entire structure shifts, sometimes visibly, like Yellowstone's rivers, sometimes silently, like Europe's overgrazed forests. Here's the question that should keep you up at night. If we have already documented how 41 wolves restructured a river, what happens to the systems we cannot see when the invisible predators disappear? Drop your prediction in the comments.